think you just got a notification from Aunt Defo. It's live on Instagram.
Well, then we know it's working.
It's working on Instagram. You got eyeballs on there.
Okay.
You got eyeballs on Facebook. Okay. Okie dokie.
Now how do we find
Let's
it?
need to refresh it.
Oh.
But there it is. Okay.
So then we click the comments.
Yeah. Yep, so we got a comment on Facebook already. So we've got Facebook on the iPad over here, so we can see
the comments.
your all's comments. On Instagram, we'll just check you later.
Can't see those.
Yep, we'll have to check in a minute. So, but yeah, got the comments on the iPad over
Don't
here.
you usually make this bigger? Like
You can. I think you can just touch it, and it'll go full screen, and then your comments are over there. Okay. I think so.
Okay.
I think it's set up.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So, surprise.
Yeah.
I have been late posting the last 2 Sundays, and now we are an entire week early.
Mm-hmm.
Summertime JOJ is much harder than we expected.
Well, busy and
yeah.
And then the live ones we've tried to do when we were in different places were a disaster. When we were together, they wasn't much better.
Well, the
they
last
were,
one at Chickamauga was good.
Well, that wasn't the last one. The last one's at the rodeo.
Oh, yes. It
Or
was
well, on the way home from the rodeo.
At Margie's,
and at Margie's driveway. So it's definitely been kind of a disaster. So we're like, hey, we're going to be adults, plan ahead, because I'll be gone next week.
Yep.
Abby will be at a rodeo again, so you wouldn't
So
even be home.
No, I'll be at a rodeo.
So we were like, well, we'll just.
And who knows if you'd be off the water, because you're filming.
That's right. So we were like, we'll just throw it off a week early, and go back to regularly scheduled programming next week.
Well, kind of. The kids' episode is next week, so it won't even be us.
Yeah, it won't be us, but it'll be regular programming, recorded and edited by Jake.
Yes,
so
100%.
By Jake. So yeah, but yeah. So we thought we would just do that this Sunday evening, and we're home. I leave tomorrow, but home and able to get that done up here, and hopefully make some sense out of it. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We want to just jump right in?
Well,
You're going to see it like this is kind of the first live we've done too, that I'm going to say it's like a real topic.
Yeah, because usually we're just like, just, hi, we're in a truck. Hi, we're still trying to figure out how to do this. But yes, so we actually, about an hour ago came up with a real topic.
We did, in the pool.
In the pool.
Yeah.
We kept asking the kids, and their ideas were...
Yeah. Childlike.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what Parker said. He had a good one, and it was funny, and I was like, dude, no.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't either. So to open it up, we screenshotted some verses that are on my phone. So we'll look it up on here.
We are winning already.
So we'll have to jump off of that for a second. Go to the Bible app here. So you're going to see all the things that normally happen when we...
when we're actually filming these with Jake.
Yeah, when we're actually filming them. On the Bible app, it just asked me if I love the app, and I hit no. I do love the app. I'm just not looking at that right now.
You know, I hate, I know you don't have this, but I know for any of the women, if you follow, Instagram, bloggers or what are they, influencers, they'll do, a lot of times they'll do, question and answer stuff and, just random nonsense things, but I always hate, if I'm, going to a story and, I hit an answer to a question, but then I, go back and read the question, I'm like, no, that's not, you can't undo it,
you get one chance.
Yeah, you can't, go back and
your opinion was recorded wrong.
It was. And then I'm always like, what if they look that up?
That one, that extra one?
Yes,
vote.
they have
through them all.
1 million followers, but what if they see my one wrong answer? Just saying, so it keeps me up at night.
That's a blonde problem. Okay, so this one was your verse, then I've got one that we'll probably mention in there in a little bit, but I guess we should even say what the topic.
Yes, we're going to kind of talk about back to school, as most of us, whether it's you've got kids or grandkids or your teacher, staff, part of the school system, everybody's gearing up, at least here in the South, to go back to school in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're jealous of those up north that are not yet.
But they stay in like a lot later.
They do. So. Yeah. And some of the year-round schools are even
they've already started. Yep.
But yeah, so back to school has got, and I'll be gone by the time they start school. So.
Yeah, fun. Okay, so I picked Deuteronomy 31:8, and it says, "The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged."
Yeah, and I'll come back to mine.
Okay.
In a little bit.
Let's go back to our comment section here.
So we got that on there. But yeah, that was the one. Well, as soon as I mentioned, I was like, "Oh, what if we talked about back to school, stuff?" And Jen was like, "Yeah, that's perfect, and I want this first."
Yeah.
So apparently her mind.
Okay, I didn't say the verse. I was like, the one where he goes before you is actually what I said.
I knew which one you meant. I mean, I had to look it up to figure out which verse it was, but I knew the idea of what you were.
Yes.
I was picking up what you was laying down.
And so I think for that is for us, and I'd imagine for most any of us, if you've got kids in school, whether they're homeschool, whether you're homeschooling them, whether they're at private school, if they're at public school, no matter where our children are, school is just, and maybe a little less so on homeschool because you're not with, every day with other people's children and situations and just life. But I know for us, like, we love having our kids home. I mean, obviously, yes, like, am I ready for them to go back and have some quiet, for 7 hours? Yes, but it's also, like, we feel like our kids, like, when they come home and they're, like, totally different children.
Yeah.
Like, they just are. And then they go into school, and I think it was last year, maybe. I think, and especially, it's not so much with the twins, like, they're just going into 5th grade. They've had their own little thing, learning how to be friends and to have friendships and the normal
people that you aren't friends with. There are difficult
personalities and so I feel like there's just a little minor, but Abby's going to be high school this year, so middle school wasn't terrible.
No,
but it has its own set of issues, and especially, I don't have my phone to show it, but especially raising kids with social media and just all the outside influences they have. But I think last year when she went in, I think I looked at because I think last year was like one of the first years you were actually home for the first day of school, and I was like, well,
there she goes.
Are you ready? Because when she comes out of that school, when we pick her up, she won't be the same.
Yeah, and it's so very true that, I mean, when they go back, and it's even, we're seeing that, and we will see that more with the twins, and that's the sad part too, is that we've already seen that with Abby. We know just how much it's going to change, and with the twins we'll see that more. But what you touched on there, in my opinion, is a big part of it, and it's, yes, they're around different people, and we love our school.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I say that.
No, we're not knocking. I feel like it would be no matter where we were at.
Oh, yeah. That's where we're at is as good as, in my opinion, where we could possibly be. It's definitely where God wants our children, no question about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there are, lots of different parents, lots of different children, and so everybody has a different parenting style. I mean, there's kids in probably 1st or 2nd grade that have a working cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
No 100%. Question about it. And, I mean, the twins are about to go into 5th grade. They don't have one. Abby was 10 and a half or 11.
Yeah, she's
got one.
Like middle of 6th grade because she's on a different campus. And so about 5 months of me trying to track her down after school, and like her friends had already had phones, like texting them and like, please tell her to come on. I've been waiting 30. I was like, oh, she has to have something because I want to call her and yell at her directly, not find 5 friends to.
But that, I mean, just that little thing, and then that puts pressure on you as a parent that so and so has a phone. These people have, and then, but we learned with Abby one thing we're not going to do with her. Or with the twins that we did with Abby. Abby got a regular phone.
Yeah, she had one of our old iPhones, and that's what she still has. And we have since with the 2.5 years, have learned how to lock it down. And I mean, it's been
It
some
took a
learning,
while.
and
Yeah.
and grooving and talking with other parents and be like, oh, that's how you do that, because these kids are so much smarter than we are.
Yeah.
But with the twins, and actually Abby, we had got her a little Gab wireless phone,
Yeah.
which is like,
for some punishment at one point in time.
yes, it can only call and text. Like this model can't even send pictures, so it was very basic, did what it needed to do. We've already, like, when the twins, when it comes time, because once they're in middle school and have sports and stuff, it's just easier for them to be able to get a hold of us. And I'm like, sorry guys, but you're not getting an iPhone.
Well, the comment I told Jenny that she said I probably shouldn't make, but what I said was that
I'm a little bit worried.
we made our mistake with Abby of letting her have a phone. I ain't gonna make the same one again.
No.
I mean, I just ain't. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So.
And it's only getting worse too.
Yeah,
I mean, at least like with Abby, like she's matured enough that, you know, I mean, she kind of knows her lines and boundaries, and you know, so she's done a lot better with it.
Yeah, she has. She's done a lot better. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely, when they go back to school, it definitely is a major change. And Jenny has to get up early every day. That's her favorite.
And then drive, and
yeah, it is a little bit of driving time.
But I feel like we've done better this summer. Like, we've not like just slept in till 9 o'clock every day. Like, we've been up.
No, it's been.
I mean, 8's usually good. Like if we sleep in, like if we're home, and so maybe it won't be too terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe at 6:15 wake up call won't be.
Debbie says, "Wait till dating comes." I don't appreciate that, Debbie. I don't appreciate that at all.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say dating. There's already boys for sure, but
sure
definitely no dates.
And that's
boys have been enough of an issue, Debbie.
Like, a good friend of mine, Jason Chambers, that I fish with a lot. That's his favorite saying.
Y'all know him as Biggs.
Yeah, you know him as Biggs.
Yeah.
But little kids, little problems. Big kids, big problems. Yeah. And it is a very true.
Yeah. As we keep going on, his youngest is in college, so. Yeah. As we definitely feel that.
Yes.
For sure.
No doubt about it. But yeah, so we want to.
Yeah. So I guess really back to that verse is. That's kind of, and of course with Deut leaving, and you know, so like this is kind of in his last weekend to do summer fun, and but like I know what's coming. I know that they're going to be anxious. That, you know, it's back to school. It's new kids. It's new classrooms, new teachers. Just, you know, getting back into that routine of just school, and so I'm dreading doing that.
We have the full range of emotions always in the first day, typically, if not certainly the first week, of being so excited to get to go back to see people. To I don't want to go tomorrow.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to go back.
So it typically you get the full range. So it's just a week of up and down. So you know, for all of you all that are watching that have kids that are headed back to school soon. That's
kind of what my prayer is to just, you know, to remind them. And like I said, it's more so, I think with Abby being older and having, you know, I mean, this is a big change for her starting high school. So, you know, it's just to remind them that, you know, that this is just a little small part of their life. And I'm kind of bad. I'm kind of a very, like, you know, okay, like, how do you explain that? Like, my personality. Like, Abby is not like, she feels everything and takes it in, and I'm like, it's 4 years. Like, let's survive, and then like, this is not the best time of your life. Like, but I have to remind myself.
You are now. We dated in high school, and in high school it was always, but Dad, this is going to be the last time.
Well, that's because I would get extra money from them.
When you would try to get permission for anything, it was the same thing that Abby says. But this is the last home game. But this is the last Friday in July.
I'm not saying it wasn't important to me then. Okay. I have to remind myself
that it wasn't
that it is important to her, and that it's important to them in this moment. Like that for her, she feels like this is her whole world. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to say is that I have to remind myself of that, because I'm so quick to just be like, if you just only understood, like, this is not going to be,
which I think it's
supposed to be fun. My parents would talk to me. So, not about that stuff. It's fine. We're good. You know, but just that it's hard for me because I know that like her better part of life is not going to be fulfilled in high school.
It's not. It's not determined by
sense.
that. Yeah. That you know that. I mean, as much as he enjoys
that
it,
being married and having children that's what she's really looking forward to.
She just doesn't know it yet.
She just doesn't know it.
She'll get there one day. Yeah. And the verse that came to mind for me when Jenny was talking about, different teachers, new teachers, and maybe a different principal or whatever. I got to pull it back up on here again, but it's in Romans, and I don't really know that this was referring to like a school teacher, as the way it's written, but I think it can work that way. It's to me it's really meaning like governments and that type of thing. But Romans 13:1, and it says, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God." It kind of says that twice in the same way there. But yeah, that one to me, and that's as nervous as we are about them going back to school or a new teacher, and I'm sure many of y'all out there feel the same way about that. I mean, and I'm not well versed enough in Scripture to tell you all the stories, especially in the Old Testament, of where God used people who were not Christians, who were not followers of God, to still do God's will, to still make things happen that were ordained by God, and that's because all authority that is put in place has been established by God. So that's the verse that I liked, for this segment.
Yeah, because I think looking back on our school history, you have teachers that you are like your favorites, and then you have teachers that you're like, I gotta sit in there for 45 minutes, And so we try to always remind our kids, one, to be respectful, and that's teachers, friends, in general.
Principal, everybody.
Everybody, because you're not always going to agree, on I guess your personalities aren't always going to clash, or mesh. There you go. I was like, wait, so just to remind them and to give grace, because teachers and principals, especially I feel like in normal situations, it's a lot, but to be trying to do this after the year we had with COVID and coming into this school year, here things are kind of normal. I mean, so far, knock on wood, we're praying that it all stays pretty normal. Our kids got to do school the whole year last year, but as of right now, we get to go and don't have to wear a mask, which they're so excited about that. And so, but just to give grace to other kids, to new students, to old friends, and parents, because
especially parents.
That 6:15 call is driving, and God love him, Parker talks a lot, and sometimes it's a lot in the morning, and so we have to just kind of, all three of us girls are usually like, what was it this morning going to church? I didn't sleep hardly at all last night, and long story short, Emmett was sent off to training yesterday, so Elle was anxious, she doesn't even like him, and all of a sudden she's freaking out because she can't find him.
Don't know where he is.
So she would never settle down last night.
So much so that she caught a fly at 1:30 in the morning.
Yes, she jumped off the bed. Apparently there was a fly in the room, and we could just hear her jaws and running back and forth. And then she catches it, and apparently she spit it out.
Yeah.
We found it.
Which we heard her when she caught it, because she goes, you just hear her jaws popping up, like a bad taste in your mouth.
She probably felt bad that she killed it.
Probably did, yeah.
So anywho, didn't get much sleep, so kind of rushing through, get ready this morning, and get in the van, head to church. And I don't even remember what you all were talking about. But they were deep. I think it was about your verse.
It actually was, yeah, it was.
I mean, they were deep in conversation, and Parker's asking all these questions, and Ott's giving these, and I can sense the girls are with me, just kind of annoyed. And finally we're like, okay, boys,
cut it out.
Please, it's too much, too early.
Yeah.
Just.
They like quiet car rides in the morning.
I don't even listen to the radio anymore. That's how much how
much
much
noise.
noise I've had this summer.
So are you relieved to go back to school then? No?
I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
No
It's
and
got
yes.
got its pros and cons.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So anywho, I guess that was let's see. I'm gonna read through some of these comments too. And also if you have there you go. If you've been watching and keeping up with our episodes, we are getting very, very close to being caught up.
Mm-hmm.
And I know sometimes some people watch them. I had a friend message me last night, and she's like, she heard that, like thought you were having heart surgery again. Did they text you too, or have you just
no,
got
they didn't.
people?
But I've had a couple people like, hey, I'm praying, for your upcoming surgery. I'm like, well, that was a couple years ago. I'm glad you're watching stuff, but yeah, just
we try to emphasize it, but
I
mean, some people, I think, if they just happen to scroll and click and
that's what they saw.
watch it, they think that he's having heart surgery, but he's not. He's good.
No, all's good. But yeah, we are getting pretty close to being caught up. We actually just filmed this past week all of what's coming up, August. All of August episodes.
Yes, because we had to do that a little earlier.
Yeah.
But
So got all those done. But yeah. So once we get through August and probably a little bit of September, will get us. May not even all of September, but will get us.
Maybe.
To up to speed. So at that point, we're kind of looking, and which tonight was a little bit of just kind of a topic. For topics that y'all would like to hear us talk about, or if there's a book that we should work through, something that maybe would be an idea of a devotional book, a weekly book, or something to kind of work through. So anything like that, any kind of ideas you all have, definitely let us know. We'd certainly be interested in hearing what those are. So, but yeah, that's I think that's about it. And just ask for your prayer for our kids. We'll pray for your kids and teachers and parents and everybody going back to school, especially those with kids starting school this year. I know that was a nerve-wracking time for us, especially Abby, for that first your first child going to school. That was always makes you a little nervous, but this too shall pass.
It does, and I mean, luckily for us, Abby started school and the twins were a year, so I don't think I had time to be sad with Abby. But when the twins started school, it was like, I think I cried for a year before they started.
Yeah, something like that.
So anyway, so we're going to post this, and then next week will be the kids.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen it yet. We hadn't previewed it.
Oh, yeah, we've not, have we? Yeah.
We were in here when they filmed, so we know some of it. The next episode after theirs, we recapped what they left out or forgot.
If there's a little bit off on some of that, because we were expecting this live to be following week, so it might be a little bit of that.
So ignore the intros and exits.
Yeah. If they're off a little bit, but
so we appreciate y'all tuning in, and especially being on a surprise.
Yeah, let's share our verses one more time. Okay, yeah. Romans 13:1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. And then Deuteronomy, the other end of the Bible, 31:8. There.
Yep. And that is, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged.
There you go. All right.
So that'll be the prayer that I know I'm praying over me, the kids, all of the above.
Going back to school.
Yeah, going back to school. A couple weeks.
Yeah. Thank y'all for watching.
Thank you.
Impromptu. I feel like this was the best live we've done yet.
I think so too.
For sure. Jacob will be proud. It's been like 23 minutes.
I know, he's going to be real proud. So maybe we'll have to figure that out, because the girls have rodeos through like November.
Yeah.
So we may have to
this may become a normal
last Sunday or whatever Sunday we're both together.
Yeah. Yeah. It may just be that. So.
Just be random.
Yeah. But one Sunday a month, we always want to try to keep it alive.
Oh, I know, we almost forgot. And sorry if you've tuned off, or when you rewatch this, is we have devotionals, one man and a woman, and I don't know if the kids picked winners from last month. If they haven't, we'll go through there and do that. but just call it devotional, and
That'll enter you.
that'll enter you, and then we'll hopefully sooner than the last live have the kids go through, and they usually just randomly pick somebody. So
Yeah.
I don't have them over here, but it's just a devotional that we each use daily.
Yeah.
That's a daily one.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah,
Got
that's
that in
it.
there. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.